Good morning and welcome to Fiber Town. My name is Emily and you can find me on the web as Chain of Fools or Fiber Town with an RE depending on where I am. You can visit my blog at www.fibertown.blogspot.com. So today is, is Wednesday, July 10th, 2013. It's early. Can you tell? I haven't had caffeine yet. But I'm getting this done while the kiddos are out of the house at swim lessons with their daddy, so I don't have any of those annoying interruptions. Hopefully. They won't be back early because it is drizzly, so they'll be swimming in the rain. Let's start with some introductions and then let's do a drawing. And then I have a show and tell. And then I have whips. And then I have spinning. And that's about it. So, intros. I want to say hi to two ladies from Texas. One is Heather, and the other is, oh, shoot, I didn't write down her real name, but her rap name is Renee Loves Yous. She's from Texas, too. And then I also have Lisa from upstate New York. Hello, Lisa. And Nicole from Pennsylvania. So, yay, thanks for introducing yourself in the introduction thread. And, yes, let's go ahead and do a drawing. This is for the Seaweed Socks by Lauren McMorty. There they are, loveliness. And we're going to do two drawings. And we had, let's see, the numbers were, can you see that? 2 through 24. There we go. So we're going to generate two numbers today. The first one is 15. There it is. So give me a sec while I find number 15, and we will see who won. While we're at it, let's just do the second one, because my internet is super slow today. The first one is 15. The second one is number 2. Lucky number 2. Excuse me. Rosebud, you want a pair. And the second one is Little Sweet Pea, you won the other pair. So, ladies, you will either get a pattern gifted from me or from Lauren. And those are beautiful socks, and I'm excited to try them too. Lauren gifted me a pattern as well, so thank you, Lauren. And yeah, so let's get right into show and tell. I'm so excited about this. I'm so happy with my knitting these days. And there just isn't enough time to do everything I want. Okay, so in the theme of talk about something nice you've done for a friend or a friend has done for you, one of my friends just had some major surgery, and I'm going to go bring her some food, and I'm also going to bring her something knitted because she's one of my very few non-knitting friends who appreciates handmade stuff. She makes wreaths. She's on Etsy. I think it's Your Decorated Door. Anyway, she makes beautiful wreaths. And she loves owls. So I made her completely, probably non-utilitarian unless you're like in England where it's cold and drizzly and you drink tea all the time. But she had to have this. This is the Morning Owl Tea Cozy by Debbie Birkin. It is a paid-for pattern. Let me just show you. Do you love him? I love him. My daughter is lobbying hard for us to keep this. Isn't this the cutest thing ever? And this is in one of my daughter's like tea set teapots. It's got Peter Rabbit stuff on it. I love this owl. He's sleepy because he hasn't had his tea. Look. And then you're like, oh, you can pop his eyelids right open. Woo! Now he's awake. Now he's sleepy. So he is made out of scraps. And let's see, what did I use? Oh, this is exciting because it's my very first intarsia ever, see? And it is not that hard. If you know how to wrap floats for Fair Isle, you can do intarsia. It's totally easy. So he's made out of 2 pieces, and they knit up super fast. The finishing is probably what takes the longest. And I haven't blocked his bottom art at all. So for this, I used double strand of some leftover Barocco Ultra Alpaca, and what else? Oh yes, some baby camel down, which I spun on a spindle. And I didn't do much of it, but that's that light tan in here. Very short staple, not too fun to spin. So that's that. I have tons of hand spun in this thing. Okay, so then this is Barocco Ultra Alpaca, and this white and tan part is some scrap white acrylic I had, but a very soft, high quality acrylic. It was called L Pure Gold, and it was made in South Africa. I don't think it's marketed in the States anymore. And that is held double with some of my Kriya alpaca that I had left over. It was a 2-ply that I had done, and I had knit mittens out of it when I first got the fleece cleaned up. So that is, I have camel, I have alpaca, and I have 2 commercial wools in this work. The eyes are the outer eyes rather are the acrylic, and then the eyelids and the inner eye are all alpaca from my Kriya. And he's got these big safety eyes, and I just think he is adorable. Or maybe it's a she. I think my friend's gonna just scream. And she can have tea parties with her little girl, who's 4. So, one more time. That is The Morning Owl by Debbie Birkin, and I used needles size 8, and I want to say 4s for the little bits. So that is my one and only show and tell this week. I do have lots of whips, and you've seen them all before. My weaving is still on the loom. With all the spinning I've been doing, I haven't wanted to touch that weaving, and I'm just not happy with it. I haven't made a final decision about what to do yet, but we'll see. So that is on hold, and my sagebrush sock, I have started to sort of write up some of the details of the pattern, so I need to cast on the second one so I can actually get going and sort of test knit it myself, write it as I knit it. So that'll happen soon. But I do have a wee bit of progress on my Old Town. I debated showing you, but why not? It's about an inch, really. Nothing much to show. But I did put a little marker to show my progress, and I figure that'll get me motivated. Here it is. That's where I was last week. It's about an inch. But with all the spinning and other whips calling my name, or things to knit, there's so many things to knit. This is still slow going. That's okay. It'll get there. My other whip, my only other whip, is my wingspan. And I like it more and more every day. So much yarn I have left. Where's that lovely green in the middle? There it is. So, here's how it's looking. There's the cast on. And we're into this royal blue, which is gorgeous. And this is on a Chowgu red lace size 4. So that's coming along beautifully. I need to decide what to do when I'm finished with the feathers. And then I need to do this sort of band here. I might do a complementary color. So I want to have, because I want to have a wing feather in all of these colors. So I might have to find some scrap yarn to do the last bit, which goes along the long edge. What else do I have to tell you? There's not much going on. It's going to be a short one today. I'm still loving knitting that. And oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you what this is out of. This is out of Fiber Optic Paint Box Gradient in cashmere. That does have what's called cashmere, and that does have cashmere content. I think it also has silk and merino. And it's beautiful. And the thing about this pattern is there are short rows, which you can see, but there are 0 wraps. You don't wrap it, nothing. You don't pick up any wraps. Super, super easy and intuitive. The whole pattern, I've got the whole thing memorized now, so I can just go, go, go. Now, I have been using the Magic Knot without clipping the tails. You can see them hanging all over. Because this is actually made up of 15 mini skeins that I joined using the magic knot. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 on that side. And maybe 1 on this side, right there. I think the magic knot is fantastic for garter stitch because the little knot looks like a garter bump. I don't know how I'd feel about it in stockinette, but I think I'm sold on it for garter stitch. So, you know, I love learning new techniques. So that is awesome. Alrighty, spinning, Tour de Fleece. I have signed up for so many teams, I can barely keep track. This is my first year. I'm a rookie. I probably won't do that again. But I'm loving it, and I'm getting a lot accomplished. So let me show you what I have to date, because we had a rest day Monday, and I did take a rest. I kind of slowed down on Sunday, didn't do much spinning, and then I took a rest day on Monday. And then I got back on the wheel yesterday. So let me show you what I have finished so far. You've seen this already, but it has washed up beautifully. This is the Unwind Yarn Company, Polworth, 604 yards in the Aurora Borealis colorway. I'm in love. I have 2 skeins of alpaca. I'm not getting great yardage. They're really a chunky. One is 88 yards and one is 50. So, but I am racking up the alpaca. I do have like maybe 6 skeins done so far. Over a pound. It's very dense. I'm really going to have to experiment with the pattern. I think I'm going to do some sort of open work blanket. I'm thinking of the pine, I think it's called Pine Forest Lace Blanket. I'll show you that another day. So, to date, I've completed this. And that's in 11 days, so not bad, especially this one, 604 yards. I do have another spinning work that is ready to ply. This is Highland Handmaids Mixed BFL in the Arabesque colorway, and I'm going to do a 3-ply. Here they are. This is lovely. I don't know if you can see, the colors are very subtle, and of course it's striped. You have the ecru BFL and the darker tannish brown. There's a very pale peach and a very pale green, along with the natural colors of the wool. I think this is going to, I'm not sure, it's such a mystery. A lot of people say they don't like plying because it takes forever. I love plying because it's like the mystery is revealed when you ply. You see more or less what the yarn's going to look like. And I'm wondering if this is going to be so, I'm thinking it's going to be tweedy looking. But I can't wait to find out. So this will go on my wheel right after we're done talking. And let me just say, Heather of Highland Handmaids, she knows her stuff, because this BFL, I want to say it's like butter. It was such a cliche, but it was like butter. There was no effort involved in the drafting. 0. It was stunningly well prepared. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And I will be getting more of that. Yes, indeed, I will. Alright, so that'll go back on the wheel to get plied. Then I have about 6-7 more ounces of my alpaca. And that is the goal. I think the tour ends on the 21st. Is that right? We have one more rest day coming up, and that's the 15th, which makes sense because that's the day after Bastille Day. So I'm sure all the cyclists will be out partying and need a day to rest up. So I'm really hoping I can get that alpaca done. You know, I've done a lot of it in the last week, and I'm a little bit bored with it, but I'm driven to get it done because then I'll have that big empty basket to put other yarn in. And then I'll have, you know, it'll be my first major quantity of hand spun. My first hand spun that's more than 1 or 2 skeins. So I'm excited to have that too. So that is it for spinning. And that is almost it for the show. I just want to say a quick word about Blip. You know, I'm sure if you watch a lot of podcasts, that Blip, which is a free video hosting site, which gives you an RSS feed that you can then give to iTunes, which was great. It's a great thing to have, and I wanted to join Blip when I first started podcasting. I wanted to host my videos there. And they rejected me, along with a lot of other new podcasters, saying that they were only accepting super professional web series where they had multiple cameras, different angles, professionally edited, which this is definitely not. So, yeah, I couldn't get on Blip. And I was bummed because I had to pay. And it's, it's a monthly expense for me. And it's one that I am definitely willing to do because I love to do this. I'm really thrilled with sort of taking that knitting community for me to the next level. Like, I'm talking to a lot of people, and I'm really enjoying that. So it's worth it to me. However, a lot of podcasters who have not been used to doing that are now being forced to look at other options. And as far as I know, there might be one other free option, but it's very complicated. I think most people are going to end up having to pay to host their videos now, which stinks if you haven't budgeted for it. But if you have a show in process and there's a flow to things and you love to do it and people love to watch it, it stinks. So here's what my little public service announcement. If you have just a couple bucks in your PayPal account, $2, $3, $5, nobody's going to sneeze at that. Nobody's going to refuse that kind of donation because now people are looking at paying a couple $100s a year to host their videos. What we need, my husband said, is somebody to just host knitting podcasts. Somebody in the knitting community who has the tech savvy and has the server space and can host people for free or very little. So anyway, if you think about it, if you are at all able, consider supporting your podcasters. Not me necessarily, but anyone else who might have to stop podcasting, because that would be terrible. I love all my podcasts. I think I have 50 on Downcast, over 50, that I watch semi-regularly. So yeah. Anyway, I hope you all are having a fantastic time with your fiber and knitting and everything, and that you all have a great week, and I will talk to you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.